Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. And it is my goal to empower you with valuable information. This is a collective or general reading, which means parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So the underlying energy for this reading is the reconciliation card, Six of Cups. So this card represents reconciliation taking place on some level, or it could be a reunion. The cups in the tarot represent romantic love, or they could represent love of anyone or anything. Plus, they could even represent something you love to do or be. The Six of Cups is talking about going back into the past and reconciling with someone or an energy of some sort from possibly when you were a child. When you first look at this card, you recognize that, oh, it looks like there's two children playing with these potted plants out in the yard and someone's watching over them. But then when you look more closely, you realize, wait a minute, that's a gnome and this is a woman, and she's really little, but she is a woman. And sorry, my cat Stella has joined us now. Yeah, her job is to purr and raise the vibration. A cat's purr raises the vibration to a healing level. Figure we can use all the help we can get. She's got happy feet now. So, and then the purr is revving up. All right. Are you purring now? Good girl. Thank you for your contribution. All right. She loves the energy of the readings. She was asleep in the other room, and I thought I might get away with doing a reading without her. But no such luck. All right. You lay down and be a good girl. It's okay. You're a good girl. All right, so the Six of Cups here is representing, this is, gnome handing these, or trying to hand these flowers over as a gift to this little woman here. When you look at her from the front, she looks young, but when you look at her from the back, she looks like an old hag. And this is saying, this image is saying, are you still a people pleaser? So if people come back from the past, are you still going to go out of your way to be nice about what you say to them? And this glove represents not wanting to get their hands dirty. So the old hag just says, no, we don't want your flowers. They're not even your flowers. They're not yours to give away. And the younger woman is explaining, herself to the gnome, why she doesn't want the flowers, And so it's saying, quit people pleasing. Also, the flowers, the white flowers in tarot represent innocence, but these flowers are not innocent. They are from the nightshade family, and the plant is Datura. And Datura is very toxic if it's ingested, especially by children and pets. It can make them very ill. Shamans sometimes use Datura to create visions in their ceremonies, but that's with adults, and they know what they're doing. This energy, so you would never grow these flowers around children or pets, and the person in the background that is watching over them actually is walking away. So it's saying that the past might have a lot of illusions in it, and sometimes this energy represents the need for you to look back into your childhood. Maybe there's something that has happened in your childhood that you still don't know about as an adult, and it's maybe holding you back in ways that you aren't even aware of. Whoops, do I have my deck up? Yes, I have my deck upside down. Sorry about that. This card is, I don't take reversals, but I like to read the cards in context with each other. Every card in the tarot has a weak and a strong energy to it. So the Justice is representing justice coming in from the spiritual realm. That's represented by this banner here. It's saying there's a thin veil between the spiritual world and the physical world. And she's holding the sword of justice, which is a double-edged sword. So when justice comes down, this is also can be redemption from karma. And that energy is, a lot of people feel like, oh, karma is punishment. But karma is actually cause and effect for your actions or inactions. And you can have direct karma, which is directly from you, from actions that you've taken, but you can also have indirect karma from your ancestors and descendants and associates and that kind of energy. Your ancestors may not have had time to clean up their own shift, and now you're going to have to be responsible for it to clean up the bloodline. And then we also have all these karmic spaces that we can fall into, which human beings easily do fall into. So, but this is talking about when the sword comes through, it cuts through the bullshit, and whoever did what gets what they deserve, basically. We have the Lovers. And so the Lovers is talking about an energy. The sun is shining on this. The sun represents God's energy. And of two lovers coming together here. And so this would be like a divine partnership. There's a cloud in between them, saying that it could mean like that you have never met this person, or if you have, you've never been in an intimate relationship with them, that maybe you haven't seen them for a long time. It could even be someone like from elementary school, you know, that you haven't seen. You might have gone for a reunion, you know, or a high school reunion or something, and run into someone that you haven't seen for years and years, and you know, the two of you looked at each other and went, wow, you've matured. So here is the energy of the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a walking contradiction. This is my shift disturber card. It's someone that they think differently than other people, which can be a plus, being an innovative thinker, but they're sneaky about it. So it makes you wonder, what are they really up to? The energy here is, you know, it's looking back into the past, and this could be someone from your past. That's possibly, we just had a Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde, it's when the planet Mercury goes backwards, or appears to be going backwards from the point of view of the Earth. And it is infamous for causing problems in communication and also in technology, and also for bringing back issues and people from the past that need closure. So you might have someone that from the past that was a lover possibly, that is wanting to come back in and say, hey, let's give it another go, or something like that, or coming in to explain themselves, or whatever that is. And this is saying be careful, because this person, you know, sometimes they just want to stir the pot, and maybe you're doing really well now and they want to see if they can get in on some of that, or maybe they really actually do want to apologize or whatever. When the reconciliation card comes up, it shows there generally you need to have forgiveness to have reconciliation. But you just, if you forgive someone, you don't have to have them back in your life. And so maybe you've already forgiven this person and they just don't know it because you didn't bother to tell them, because you don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. And so this is the energy here, and this person, for whatever reason, he's making off with these 7 swords in his or has 5 swords in his arms here, and he has 2 planted. He's looking over his shoulder at the past, and this is representing, like, he's not looking where he's going but moving forward. He's on his tiptoes and like sneaky, like a thief in the night, but this is broad daylight. So if he is a thief, he would be a white collar crime kind of person, you know, someone that can sit in an office and do his crimes in that kind of way. You know, money laundering, forgery, identity theft, etc. And what's really disturbing is the way he's holding these 7 swords, or these 5 swords that he's carrying. Nobody carries swords like that. I mean, these are really sharp. And if he should trip, and he's not even looking where he's going, so it could easily happen, he could lose his hands. If he's this dangerous with his own energy, then what is he like with other people's energy? And so this is, if this energy is in your life, you need to really make sure, if you're signing any contracts or any agreements or anything, that you dot your I's and cross your T's. And you really make sure that you have a lawyer look over everything. This is the 3 of Wands, which is representing the element of fire. And this person is on the precipice of change. He's overlooking his domain here. He's on one shore and he's looking across at the horizon, and he's thinking, there's some ships sailing by. This looks like it could be sand because of but it's the way the sun is shining on it. There are actually ships going by here. And he's like thinking, I might just hop on one of them babies and go for a ride. It's that kind of energy, wanting to get away and go on an adventure, and also expand your horizons. And so this energy is sometimes can be represent an energy of having been a couple and now walking away from that couple, and becoming a single person. So sometimes it means that. We'll see. We have, someone is disappointed in love here. That was coming up with this card. So this person is sitting under the tree and they're very disappointed. Remember, if this is, in this case, I feel like it's likely to be romantic love because of just like the lover's energy and we have the couple thing and this, but it could be something you love to do or be or someone else. But I'm going with the romantic for this reading. If it's not about that for you, then it could be about your business. These can sometimes represent the energy of an entrepreneur, or someone at work, or someone in your family, that kind of energy. But with the lovers here, I feel like it's clarifying that it could be a lover from the past wanting to come back in and reconcile with you. And so this could be like you gave them 3 chances and they're asking for a 4th chance and you're like, no, 3 strikes, you're out, I'm done. I don't want more of the same old shift. Or this could be the divine, because we do have the sun here offering a new love. It can be both actually, but this could now, that relationship is over. The divine is saying, here's a new cup of love. And you're like, no, I've had enough of love. And that's kind of silly because this is a young person. You don't want to stop loving, just because of a bad run. So this could represent the energy of just having like 3 different relationships that just didn't work out that well. And also it could be a third party involvement. Like there's 3 cups here instead of 2. And, and ultimately it can even represent this 4th cup coming in, and that could be the gift of a baby from the interaction of the third party involvement. Hopefully not. I mean, babies are always a gift, but in this case it would be, challenging to see it as a gift. And this is the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. So I feel like whatever this was about is you've resolved it for yourself. And maybe someone was trying to come back in and you were just like, no, I'm done. I'm moving forward in my life. And this is a good thing because the Wheel of Fortune, when this card comes in, it represents the energy of it's time for new. And the past, the present, and the future are all coming together, and boom, they're coming into the present. And so this is synchronicity from the universe. And the energy is talking about, on one of these wheels, we have the Hebrew letters for the name of God, which is tetragrammaton. A tetragrammaton is actually a sacred geometric symbol. And in geometria, where they assign a numerical value to each of the letters, when you put them in different combinations, it represents the very, very close approximates the phi ratio, which is 1.618. And that energy is, like it's like little boxes nesting in each other, gradually becoming bigger. And you can see this in the golden spiral, which is like hurricanes and tornadoes and pineapples and cones, cone flowers, that kind of pine cones. They all follow a specific pattern. And they're the same pattern in different scale. And then also we can see the golden ratio in like human beings, like for instance our face. Everybody's face, the distance from the hairline to the eyebrows, and the eyebrows to the bottom of the nose to the chin is relatively the same in most people. And then we also have like our head is a certain size, our upper body, and then our lower body. This can also be the limbs, the upper limbs, the lower limbs, our hands, our feet, our fingers, our toes. And so we all, nature, fruits, vegetables, even trees, the way the number of, the branches and how they are distributed on a tree follow this ratio. And so this is talking about the perfect organization in a perfectly imperfect world that we live in right now. When I found this out, I go for a walk and I notice, oh yeah, like there's like the flowers, they all have like the petals in a certain order, and you look at the branches of the trees and they're like in a certain configuration. It reminds me, even if the world's really chaotic right now, that there is perfect order at the center. And maybe it gets a little messy on the outer edges, but eventually it contracts and it comes back into perfect order. And this is how God designed it. And so just the perfection of a baby coming, a brand new baby, when you see a baby, I mean, it's a miracle, like beyond all miracles. Like, they're so perfect. And we have the energy then. Okay, so we do have you walking away from someone or something that you love. And it looks like it could be talking about this old relationship. Maybe they've come back in and they're trying really hard and you're like, no, I'm done. This sometimes represents like there was 5 good years and then there was a couple years here and then a gap. And this sometimes represents that third party energy coming in. And this person is saying, I am done, I'm walking away. And we have the moon, the full moon and the new moon. So we just had an eclipse season at the end of January or end of February, beginning of March. And those eclipses stay with us for about 6 months. So you may have been dealing with this, back then. It doesn't have to be, but that energy then sticks with us. And it's like a slow pot boiling slowly on a back burner, and it's, you might look back now 6 months from now and be like, wow, like I can't believe what all the changes I made in my life. And this is the energy of the full moon coming in right now. We have a full moon this morning, because I'll be posting this in the morning. And it's April Fool's Day. So just keep that in mind, because we don't have enough AI out there distorting information. So just keep in mind, remember, in the morning on April 1st, there could be a lot of tricky energy out and about, and emotions are running high because it's a full moon. And this full moon is in Libra, and the Libra energy is about compromise and wanting to improve your relationship with your significant other, or if you don't have one, like find them, that kind of energy. So we have a lot going on with that energy here, but I also am looking at this, and you know how we have these 7 cups and then there's the gap. This card, interestingly enough, it came up about a couple months ago as the 7-year itch, which is a phenomena that happens sometimes, quite often actually, in marriages. I wasn't really, when I looked up the statistics, a lot of marriages end in the first year. And then if they don't end in the first year, then they, a lot end up getting divorced in the 7th or 8th year if they're going to. And this energy is called the 7-year itch because it's like really, it's statistically really high. But it doesn't just involve relationships with people. It can be also purchasing a home and then at 7 years wanting to move. And some people do that. They just regularly move every 7 years kind of energy. And also it could be the business that you started with a partner, or your partner started with you and they've walked off, or you've walked off because you're just not interested in it. It could be a successful business, but they're just like, no, don't feel like doing it anymore kind of energy. So that's the kind of, I'm building a pyramid here, and this bottom line, it's representing kind of what's going on and the tools you have. So this is talking quite a bit about justice coming in, and someone from your past, and I feel like it could be an ex-lover wanting to reconcile, but you're not having it. You can feel that the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor, and you're ready for new. I just want to point out also that the Libra full moon is opposed. The energy across the horoscope wheel from Libra is actually Aries, and the Aries energy is not about compromise. The Aries energy is about self expression, basically. And it's like, no, I am going to do what I need to do as an individual. And so this energy is really significantly playing out right now in people's lives. Also, there was like 6 different planets moved into Aries recently, and it has caused a lot of shakeup in the planet. It's really rare for this to happen. These are big planets like Neptune and Saturn and Jupiter and Venus, about love just moved in, which is why a lot of the readings that I've been doing lately are focusing on this energy here. And so if you want to know more about it, I've done readings for each of the horoscope signs for both eclipses and the new moon and the full moons. So if you want to get a little more information on it about what, because there are so many astrological influences happening at the end of February and the beginning of March, and it's just too much to get into here right now. We have judgment, and so the judgment is coming in, and the judgment is talking about coming from the spiritual realm down to the physical. And the ancestors are literally like climbing out of their boxes. Yay! Judgment is being called. So it could, like I said, be some karma that was left over, unresolved business from something that happened to them, and they just weren't able to clean it up before they crossed the veil. And the descendants are waving to them across the veil here. So everybody's like, yay, judgment is coming. And this sometimes can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, or it can be like Pandora's box being opened. So this energy here, there's something going on here with that from your childhood, I feel like, that you don't know about. And then we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords energy is usually a professional figure that uses really intelligent, uses their mental intelligence to be able to earn their living. So this could be politicians, and I mean, it could actually be a king. It could be the energy of president or prime minister. And remember, I said sometimes the information coming in from the top of the pyramid, it trickles down to everybody below, and so it does have an effect on us. A lot of people don't want to watch the news because it's so irritating, and half the time you don't know if it's AI or if it's real. But having said that, it's good to get an idea of what's going on at the top with the politicians, because that has a direct effect on everybody below, no matter what country it's in. And so we have the King of Swords could also represent the energy of a best-selling author, that just sold a best-selling book. And we could have the energy of the legal system. Quite often this can represent lawyers, judges, prosecutors. They would be at the top. If it's a lawyer, it would be someone who's a partner in a prestigious firm. These are highly, up at the top of their element right now. What else could this be? I said a writer, anything basically that uses an influencer on social media, also that kind of energy. We have the Death card coming in, which is actually about transition. A lot of people panic when they see this card, but it's really not meant as like physical. This is talking about things breaking down that we thought never would break down, like we're seeing right now on the planet. Systems breaking down, energy shifting. Those 6 planets that moved into the sign of Aries, it's really significant because Aries is the infant of the zodiac, and it's about brand new energy. And so a lot of people on the planet right now are kind of feeling like the rug was pulled out from underneath them. We have a lot of information coming out from files, and from, we have countries fighting, and everybody's involved, and man, it's just so much going on at one time. But this is talking that the systems, the cracks are showing in the systems, and that we are having to deal with that. And as humanity is going to have to deal with that. Also, like in your own personal life, it could be something like maybe you have had a hobby that you just love doing. And one day you wake up and you're like, done. And you're just shocked even yourself, because you're like, wow, that's something I thought I would always do, that it would always be something that I cared about, and I just don't. And it's so some people, when the change is coming in, when the Grim Reaper comes into town, they aren't interested in the change, and they don't want it, and they'll barter. Go away, we'll give you money, we'll give you anything, just don't bring your change to town. And the younger ones are like holding a flower. Hey, it's so exciting to see you. We're looking forward to change. So it just depends on which end you are on. And then we have the 8 of Wands. And this is representing launching a new project with this transition energy. So it could be, this other energy, when you come to your judgment and you say, no, I'm not entertaining this energy anymore. I'm moving forward into the new, into the unknown, into the, and I'm staying on my path, and I'm going to enjoy my journey here. This also can represent conception, and it's sitting kind of on this energy here. the sneaky energy and of past lover energy, and there may even be a pregnancy energy because this is also a possible conception happening. And we have but look at this, we have ultimate fulfillment coming in with the new lover that God is promising you. If you let go of this old energy and come into the new, this is what's being launched for you. This is ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. So it's, the perfect partner and the children and the, beautiful home and having, like, being happy, like loving your life. And so as perfect as it can be in our perfectly imperfect world. And then we have the Page of Pentacles coming in. So there could be some information coming in regarding the Pentacles. And Pentacles in the Tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. So you could have all the money in the world, and it's represented here. There's a coin, because of course money is a very important ingredient in your lifestyle and and happiness in the third dimensional world. But this energy, you could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle that you want. And so the Page of Pentacles, the pages would work for the King and the Queen, and they would be, young, 7 to 14, maybe, depending on how mature they were, and come from the surrounding families. And their major job would be to distribute communication between people in the palace walls. And if they were really good at it and they stuck with it, by the time they were 21, if they were promising, they might be considered for knighthood, as long as they could afford a horse. So this is talking about, again, moving into the future. There's some sort of information coming in about pentacles. In the old days, this energy would be in person, but communication nowadays, we have so many ways of communicating. So it would be perhaps a phone call, a text message. It could be an email. Could be a letter that comes in the mail. There could be, on social media, someone could message you, or you might even go to an event posted there and run into someone that is the perfect person for you to meet. Also, as I said, the news, it's good to know what's going on at the top of the pyramid, because definitely that's having an effect down below. And then we have also, now we're also getting promised, this is a card of wishing for something. And so this is saying, this is right now, you're just wishing for this. So you have to stay in the game, stay focused, and pour your energy into your new path. And then you will, this is the promise if you do that. And so this could be talking about a new lover coming in for you that empowers you to do this. And this could represent you being somewhat of a public figure. The cups we don't see, like if they've already started coming in. Or maybe the new lover that's coming in is a public figure. Maybe like it could be a politician energy, or someone who's an influencer, a speaker for a living, that kind of energy. Well, this can also represent doctors, like surgeons and researchers, like so innovators of health and actual innovations, like that kind of energy, like an inventor basically. And then we have the moon energy coming in, and we do have that full moon tonight, because this will be posted early in the morning tomorrow. I had a kind of a wild day. I had a lot of technological problems and a lot of real big noise outside, some construction. So I'm just kind of getting as caught up as I can here. There's no use fighting the energy. I just go with it, and whatever work, I've had to change my schedule up a bit. So this is talking about the moon, and this lobster is climbing out of the water, and he's trying to stay on his destined path here, but he has to pass by this domestic dog and this wolf are sitting there and they're howling at the moon, and he's like, man, I got to go past them. I got to be sneaky. He wants to stay in between those two pillars. He wants to stay focused so that he can get this ultimate fulfillment. But he has to make himself vulnerable. Is what's sometimes you're vulnerable when you're on your destined path, but it'll be worth it if you can do it. And so this is talking about the energy of the sun, the full moon and the new moon. And that's kind of the energy of the eclipse energy that we just experienced as well. The moon is when during that full moon, a lot of people are way more intuitive, and so you can take advantage of that. We have the marriage, commitment, and partnership card coming up. So this is talking about, it's the official marriage card of the tarot, basically. So this energy could be that, you know, that this new lover is coming in and they actually want to propose marriage to you. So this could be over any length of a time frame, right? So just take it however it works for you. This is saying basically the beginning of this fulfillment that you're being promised. What it's saying is you have the down payment for the castle, which is a huge accomplishment, but you still have mortgage payments to make. And you know, the person you were proposed to, or you proposed to someone and they said yes, and now you have to work on the wedding, and then you have to pour your energy into working on the actual marital relationship for it to be successful and fulfilling. But you're well on your way. And then we have, yes, this is a breath of fresh air for you. So this page is, his element is the sword. And of course, this is representing thoughts and, you know, mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. He is not looking at his element because he already knows what the question is. He's looking for a creative solution. He's thinking outside the box, and he is looking for, okay, what is the best solution? And this card can often represent like a breath of fresh air. Aha! And this full moon in Libra is famous for that, bringing in epiphanies about something maybe you've been putting off, and then it could be like, oh, I remember when that happened in my childhood, and I went and I rushed in to do something and I got in so much trouble or whatever, something like that. And now it's affected you all these years and you didn't realize it. Now that you've gone inward and healed that, you discipline your mind so that you know it doesn't come up and limit you anymore. And that's the energy. This is like, aha, yay. And it's a lightness that comes over you. It might be a really amazing idea for a new project that's coming in that could be very lucrative. And we have this energy here, of getting out of the energy of having a closed mind, like this or that. It can only be one way or the other. This way or that way, my way or the highway. And this energy is saying, no, you want to, you notice that the energy, the body language between these two cards is very similar. We have two people, both of them leaking energy from their lower body with their feet turned out like this. So it means they're not 100% focused and they're being drained by that. And then this energy, you notice his hands are here and his arms are creating an infinity symbol. It almost reminds me of a genie. And she's protecting her heart. And so this is that vulnerability from this energy here. And she has her right arm holding back her left arm, and it's over the heart, protecting the heart. And her right arm represents her logic and her left arm represents her intuition. So she needs to allow her intuition to come in here. And then this can sometimes represent someone who's doing that and they're trying not to be distracted. And it's saying, I'm looking into things with my third eye. There's a saying, because you have eyes you cannot see. And the reason, that sounds kind of silly, but it's talking, go inward and use your third eye to be able to see what's going on. And in actual fact, when the human eye can only detect a small bandwidth of the spectrum of light. And so when we think we're seeing absolutely everything with our own eyes, we're actually only seeing a small fraction. And there's, you know, things that, like, for instance, my cat's been up and down. And so she's feeling some energy coming in from, well, where's this energy coming from? That's how she sometimes gets when there's readings. So she can feel the energy of the people that are listening to it now and will be. And she's like checking it out. And so she's like, she's been really, and I feel that because of this full moon energy coming in, everybody's like super, you know, yeah, you're being a real pain in the ass. Come here. Usually she sits on my lap and purrs, but not tonight. She says, it's a full moon. I want to get out there on the balcony and I want to howl at the moon too. All right, we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is that's representing someone who has, you know, this the page knows that, hey, there is plenty of fish in the sea, but he's focused on this one in this cup. So this could represent that someone has their eye on you, you know, and that this energy is coming in, that they already are thinking, I'd like to ask that person out for a date. I wonder if they're ready to date after going through all this bullshit with that other person. So it could be, you know, someone that's been keeping their eye on you and kind of waiting to make sure you actually are single, that kind of energy. Oh, and we had this over here, actually. This was here. I was wondering, I was going, how come I'm going backwards here? So this energy is coming here. But I wanted to show you the difference in those two energies and how they are talking about that. You know, having an open mind can be like a parachute. It could save your life. So yeah, this is talking about definitely this energy coming in. If it hasn't happened yet, it's saying that there's already someone who has their eye on you and is, oh, and then this is the next card that was coming in. My cat has me distracted because she keeps jumping up and down here. She is purring though, in your credit. She's got happy feet and she's purring away here. So it's not bad energy that she's upset over. She's just like very curious. And so the Tower energy is representing a reality check. And in your case, this is a really good thing. There's two people falling out of this tower, and one of them is shocked, and the other one is like, I was kind of wondering when this was going to happen. And this is saying these people have been ignoring what's been happening, and they've been ignoring their intuition, both of them. One saying, I know I need to take care of this, and the other one saying, I don't see an elephant in the room. And so the universe finally steps in and lightning hits your tower. And so what's the chances of lightning hitting your tower? Probably the same as, you know, winning the lottery. So when this tower hits, for the person that's been in this energy, the sneaky energy, it could be like not so fun. And for you, it could be like winning the lottery. I mean, if you've been following your path, and you know, it could be like, wow, the wheel of fortune's turning for you, man. And now this reality check is, the truth is coming out, and you are going to enjoy the benefits of that truth coming out. And we have this energy here now of saying, it's time to expand your horizons. And I feel like this energy is talking about this energy that was this passion that was launched by this person. And they're like, oh, okay, now they get the information. Yep, they're divorced or whatever, or they're done. And there was a lot going on, just like suspected. And so, but it's time. And so this person is maybe saying, I'm ready to add another person to my life and make this proposal and have this move forward. This is someone who's feeling like a big fish in a little pond, and it's maybe an energy of wanting to start a family, that kind of energy sitting on this conception card. And just waiting for, because he has his eye on a particular person, and I feel that's you. We don't really have an energy of a person that you are, other than you are you. You are you. And we have a lot of information, but not about the actual people concerned in this thing. The only, we have the King of Swords here. And so that energy, though, can represent lawyers that are involved in whatever was going on here. If there was any, you know, because there's some need for justice coming in. We have the sneaky energy, and we have judgment being called on both the physical and the spiritual realm. And what else? So that's kind of, you know, where we're at. And this is saying definitely use your intuition at this time. That there's extremes here, and you need to get neutral in between them, so you can actually not be triggered and see what's going on. Discipline your mind. Discipline of the mind is actually, it creates freedom for you to move forward. And there we have it. You're ready for a new journey. So the Fool starts a new cycle at the 0 point and is moving forward on a brand new cycle. And I feel like that's this energy coming in. Now, whoever has had their eye on you, they're going, okay, it's time to make my move. And then there's also some information coming in that's been a long time coming, because the Knight of Pentacles is representing the energy Isn't that interesting? Because this is the Page of Pentacles, and remember I said if they grew up and they could afford a horse, that they could end up being a knight. And it looks like that might be the case here. So this energy has been a long time coming in regarding some pentacles. And so, you know, that information may be coming into you, and it's going to be very beneficial for you, that information. I just want to set this up so I can do the end of it. And then we have, and that's sitting on the reality check as well. And the Hierophant is, so the Hierophant is representing now the traditional structure of judgment coming through down to the third dimensional plane. So this is saying maybe court of law kind of energy, judges and that, you know, that kind of energy. There's some sort of energy about pentacles from down here that you may or may not have been waiting for, but it's been waiting to come to you. And then, and there's a passion for new discovery. I feel that this card is saying there was an investigation and regarding these pentacles, and the truth has come out, and the Tower hit the people that are responsible for it, for you not having this information. Someone could have been stealing your mail, or you know, identity theft, pretending they're you, that kind of energy. You may or may not be aware of it, but whatever is going on, there's a passion for new discovery. So that's talking about being passionate about moving forward in this new relationship and on this new journey, this new cycle. But also there could be, because this is on the Hierophant in the Tower, that there may have been an investigation, and the investigation is over, and now it's being brought into the court system. Okay, and that's going to change your world. Wow, look at that. So here we have it. This is the beginning and the end of that cycle. This is like when this cycle, that was a short cycle, but it actually wasn't, because it was a long cycle. It was taking forever for the information about some sort of pentacles, and it's a lot of pentacles, because as slow as this night is, it's the slowest night. It takes forever for the information to get to you, but when it comes in, it's valid, and he's done his investigatory work to make sure it's true information, and it's going to change your world. So you've got a lot of shift coming up in your life, and it's all on, like with the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. And look at, that's the night, that's when the Knight of Cups comes in. This is the romance coming in now. The rest was more about possibly some work you were working on that you love to do, and somehow, I don't know what happened here. It could be from your childhood, and it could be people like in your inner circle were involved because it's family, or it could be a lot of different things. There's a lot of energy coming in. But this is definitely saying that your world is changing, but you're going to be standing on your own feet in your own right. And whoever comes in is going to match this new energy, not the old you. And so that's why you're not going to entertain past energies right now. It wouldn't benefit you. And we do have another, Uranus is moving into Aries as well, if you can imagine, 7 planets. It's almost unheard of in astrology. And so it's shaking shift up quite a bit. And for some, you know, if, like it can be really good for some people that if you've been on the straight and narrow and you've been following your destined path and, you know, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and you're ready, you know, for this new energy, it can be really, really exciting coming up. And if you're not, if you've been on the wrong side of the law, and that energy is coming in, and we're seeing that all across the world right now. So going from the bottom to the top and back down, we have the Justice coming in from the spiritual realm to the physical. There's some information about pentacles, and look how long it took for it to come in. But like now, this is like, this person's grown up now. And then this is talking about everything you wish for coming through. A lot of love coming your way. A love for what you do, and love for what you be. And this is about staying focused, stay in the game, don't get distracted, don't be doing anything impulsive. This is talking about make sure you use your intuition. It's invaluable to you right now. You're going to be going on a new cycle here, and it's very quick, because this is about the Justice coming in. whatever about these pentacles. And this is like a lot of money, because it's a legacy that can be handed down to your children and your children's children. I don't know what happened with this. Sometimes the pentacles can also represent the energy of real estate, you know, because it's the earth sign. So the cycle is, this court cycle is going to be quick, because it's been going on for a long time. Possibly you just didn't know about it. And this cup of love is coming in, and it's going to be very passionate. And this is a marriage, and this is marriage, a commitment. It'll be a strong commitment. This person has only got eyes for you. There's not going to be any of this three-party situation going on. And we have that you opened your mind up, and this was really good, because that's what was, you know, an open mind is what's needed to be able to bring this energy in. Judgment is served, and you walking away from this relationship when you did, or even if they were the ones that walked away, was the best thing that could have happened. And not reconciling with the past, or you know, with a person from the past, and inviting them back in. People tend to show you who they are the first go around. And yeah, this is really talking about a lot of really beautiful new energy coming in. It'll be interesting to see when Uranus moves in April 26th, I think it is, that Uranus moves into Aries. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a lot more energy again. So I'm going to clarify with my oracle for those of you who want clarification. If you're like, no, I'm good, I feel really happy with this, I don't want to jinx it by knowing more, I don't blame you. But we're going to continue. Thank you for being here. And if you did enjoy the reading, please give it a like and comment. It helps me build my channel. Consider subscribing. You're very welcome. And for those of you who say, no, I want more clarification, I'm brave. I'm a brave soul. All right, let's go for it. So I'm using my Tales from the Vector, and this is something I started in 2007. In 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. At this time, I'm working on writing up the information to go with the booklet, you know, that goes with cards. And I do already have a lot of written information, but you have to be able to play with the cards to be able to really understand how they work. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order they are in my gallery on my website, and the information is in this, will be in the description box below, so you can you know, take a look and know which paintings you're looking for. Sometimes, you know, they say a painting speaks 1,000 words, and maybe this will give you further clarification. We are talking about transition coming in regarding this energy maybe that has been sitting there for quite some time since you were a child. The Wheel of Fortune is coming through. The energy is about intent. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Sometimes when you have a lover that's, you know, and there's this third party energy, it may be that you just weren't mature enough at that time to make that commitment and didn't realize it. A lot of people don't realize what a huge commitment marriage is. Even if they think, you know, like, okay, they understand that on a spiritual level or on a, just from the emotional point of view, it's also a legal tying. So it takes a lot of energy to untie that, all the legalities with it. It can cause a lot of anger, and, you know, anger is a karmic space and intent. So you can have good intentions and it doesn't work out well. And we're all familiar with that. It doesn't mean, okay, you're going to stop, you know, attempting to do things. So if you are, you know, a lot of times people are like, well, what's my purpose? Your purpose is to be the best version of you. You're not going to be the best version of you by playing it safe all the time and not working towards, you know, being a better person. So stepping into your energy full-heartedly, you're going to make some mistakes. And there could be anger around that, but, you know, anger is justified, and it can be righteous, and then let it go. Because if you hold on to it, it can actually get passed down from generation to generation. And it's very acidic. It's not the best energy to manifest from, although some people do it, you know, like if you're angry, you may have noticed you can get a lot done. And then we have the falling star energy. And so this is about having to open up your heart and be vulnerable enough to allow this new love relationship coming in. falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So you have to love yourself enough to be willing to look at your shadow side and maybe what happened in your childhood that's maybe holding you back from having what you want. And then we have the Scorpio energy here, and it's talking about, I just want to make it clear here, I'm not talking about an individual here, I'm talking about the sign of Scorpio. So the state of being of that sign. And at the very best, Scorpio energy is about uniting people. And the manifestation comes from our sacral chakra. And you know, again, the energy that I had picked up here with this, possibly a baby being conceived, could be possible, because this is the sexual gladiator energy of the horoscope. Then we have, yes, this is confirmation. You are a star, and you deserve to have, you know, the words spoken about you in that energy. It's talking about having harmony from your words and the words of others. We have the need to be right is another karmic space. Sometimes we go, when there's a lot of change coming in and we're feeling vulnerable, we have a tendency to, like, the need to be right. Like, no, I was right and they were wrong, and I'm going to stand on that position till the day I die. And that kind of energy is really not productive, because it's sometimes making mountains out of molehills. And also you're standing in your own way of being happy then. And we have father figures coming through. So yeah, this energy could be, yeah, again, it's sitting right on this conception. I just feel like there could have been a possibility of that. And so this could be, you know, it would have been very challenging. And now it's recognizing that, you know, on some level, it also can represent, sometimes you have children with one partner, and you know, when you split up, then you have to still be able to support each other in the roles of mother and father and parenting. We have Aquarius energy coming in. And so the Aquarius energy is, you know, we're in the age of Aquarius and just approaching it. And it's a 2,160 year endeavor. So we're right at the beginning stage. And so a lot of us are starting to feel this energy of wanting to experiment a little bit more. And with all of these planets moving into the sign of Aries that were traditionally in other, you know, for quite some time, like Neptune, for instance, which is about how we approach our idealistic side of ourselves. That energy was in Pisces for 14 years, and now it just moved at the end of February into the sign of Aries. And so it's like having to learn that energy all over again. That's just one planet. And we have Sagittarius energy coming in. A lot of people are feeling this energy too right now, wanting new adventure and wanting to, you know, be in the new. Like I'm like that. It's that Aries energy again coming in. When you have that many planets that move in a short period, and they're planets that have been, you know, 14 years in one, and Saturn also moved in, and Saturn is 2.5 years, and there's I can't remember which planet moved in, and it's 7-year cycle. So like, it's not like these are like small movements, it's like quite drastic changes in there, all these planets happening at once. We can see that playing out on the world, on a global level for sure. And this is talking on the tower, a scotoma. So scotomas are when you are, there's a blind spot. And of course, love is blind. I figured that out for sure after doing enough readings here. It's just blame it on that. When you love someone, you don't want to see the negative in them. And so you have a tendency to sometimes shy away from that. So there's this is sitting on the reality check, and so like there's always signs when the energy is changing, and the universe will be like, hey, you need to pay attention. But if you don't, then, you know, if you need a lightning bolt to strike your tower, well, there, you know, so be it. And so this energy is talking about moving forward, though. And there definitely was a blind spot here. And what is that sitting on the tower? Yeah. And because no one wanted to see it, boom, she blew. That's the energy. And then we have temperance. So it takes a lot of devotion and patience to stay on your destined path. But it's worth it in the end, because when justice hits, and it always does, then you're going to be on the Dharma side rather than the karma side. And we have having the courage to move forward in a strong way. It takes a lot of courage to stay on the path when a lot of other people, it seems like they're doing so much better, and they're cheating here and there, and you just feel like, man, I'm doing everything the way that you're supposed to, and I feel like I'm always further behind people that are cheating. But then when the tower hits, man, then you're like, whew, glad that I'm glad I was on my foolhardy path after all. Then you can, like when a tower hits, then you can anticipate the justice coming in, bringing you really good energy. And then at the top, we have this Aries energy. And I feel that's just saying, hey, get used to it. There's going to be a lot more. If you think there's change coming now, wait until the 26th of April, when Uranus moves into Aries too. There's going to be even more shift happening. Get ready. All right. I enjoyed this reading. I do hope you've also enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and comment. If you have, consider subscribing. I would be honored. And I'll be back with another daily reading for you tomorrow. Bye for now.